Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Happy weekend to everybody that finished a good weekend. And I hope you'll have a good week this week. It's Monday here for me. Some people, it's Tuesday for them. But let's talk about the last weekend. Let's talk about the Champions League. Let's talk about Arsenal. David Raya, is he going to get dropped? Eric Ten Hag, rumored to be replaced by Graham Potter. Believe that. This is just a rumor that is going, and I can't believe it. But should Chelsea sign a goalkeeper? That too. And Pochettino is saying he cannot drop Enzo and Caicedo because of their price tag. And I'm here with a great guest. As you know, I haven't put the picture, so make it a surprise. It's someone that I haven't streamed with this weekend, but I wanted to get his opinion about the game. Big up everybody that is here. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. The like button is so important for us. And let's get the guests. It's the one and only. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Oh yeah, now my people, it's your dark skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, today you go understand. Smash the like button, people. Big up Mo each and every time. And welcome to a new week of football, man. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you after this weekend? Still smiling?
Um,
Happy?
yeah, well, we were 15 minutes away from a different look to my face for sure, but I mean, we got away with murder on the weekend, so I can't be too disappointed.
I'll pick up everyone
But
in the chat. Yeah. Of course. Edward Joseph became just a member for the channel. I had a great show yesterday with 5 members of the channel. It was a great chat. Make sure to check out the memberships, of course, in the description. So you can become a panelist with me on a show or 3 if you want, depending on what level you want, different person, of course. So hit that like button, people. And let's start with Kunli's opinion about, is he still confident about Arsenal though?
confident about what? Us
So
challenging
I
for the
have seen,
title?
so yeah, I've seen rumors. It's not my opinion. I've seen rumors that
Mhm.
say that Arsenal are not creating enough chances. You won't challenge for the title. Arteta's too stubborn. Blah blah blah. This should the level. Man City and Liverpool are a level above you. Blah, all this talk. So what do you think?
Um, to be honest, I'm very disappointed in my manager for this weekend more than anyone. Like the players, yeah, they didn't show up, but I don't believe the manager gave them the best chance possible to go and win that game on the weekend. And the biggest decision was starting Jorginho in that midfield. There's so many other options. Partey would have been the ideal option for sure. But if I couldn't go with Partey, I would have even gone with ESR and told Declan Rice to be the 6. And he didn't do that. And Jorginho, his lack of pace and physicality was exposed by Chelsea young midfield with a massive engine. I mean, we were rattled in that midfield. We didn't we like the midfield was absolutely dominated for more or less 70 minutes. And I don't believe they would have had a chance to dominate like us like that if we either had Partey A or even an ESR. He would have given them some different things to think about. Jorginho gave them nothing to think about. All that meant Jorginho playing as the 6 meant Rice made less forward runs and Odegaard, they're not even getting to Odegaard. Odegaard has no excuses for me, bro. He was just absolutely missing. Unacceptable, that performance from the captain. For me, I'm feeling more like my captain is Declan Rice right now because he's the only one that stepped up and took the game at the scruff of the neck and kept pushing everyone through and through. But if you had asked me, can we win a title on the 75th minute? I would have told you, hell to the freaking no. We're not in this title race at all. But people say it was a gift by Sanchez. It was. I think is Gallagher and Sanchez are joint to blame for that situation, but Rice still had to pounce and take it first time and put the ball away, which wasn't easy. He did. And after that goal went in, we looked like the only team that wanted to win the game. Chelsea were absolutely rattled in that last 15 minutes, and we could have even nicked it, and that would have been absolutely beautiful after all that hard work for 75 minutes to nick it from them. But I'm not drawing a game like that doesn't make me believe that the team can't challenge because if we were 2-0 up and then drew the game 2-2, maybe I'll be looking at it a little bit differently. But I believe the manager left his team out to dry. As soon as we went 2-0 down, he should have made substitutions. He shouldn't have waited to the 70th minute. And it nearly cost us. I think the teams bailed out the manager more than anything. But yeah, we showed a lot of fight and determination, playing to the end. We'd never say die attitude. So this is the mentality of champions, no matter what anyone wants to tell me. But is it a point gained or 2 points lost? It's definitely 2 points lost, because if we show up for that game, or he starts with the right midfield, I believe Chelsea were there for the taking.
100%. Listen, for me, I think the players are the one who fought after Declan Rice scored. I think your manager gave up on the game, 100%, because I was telling people, and people heard me here before, but I want to tell you, I don't know if you watch me on any of the shows, even on Never a Foul, I said at 70th minute, when he subbed in, 68th minute, when he subbed in some of the players, they were walking on the pitch. They weren't pressing. They weren't trying to get the ball back. And I'm like, that's an attitude of a team that gave up. And that's not an attitude of a team that wants to win the title. That's an attitude of a team that head down, you lost the game. You knew that some of the players did not perform. I thought Declan Rice was all right. I thought he was lost in the game. I thought him being
until he became put in a 6. Until he got put in a 6.
Yeah. Of course, that part. Yeah, because it's very obvious that he is molded to be a 6. He is not an 8. He cannot do the Xhaka role, and he cannot do the Odegaard role. He needs time to have the offensive output that is needed from an 8. People just forget sometimes when we say 8, they compare Declan Rice that played left side in a double pivot in West Ham to an 8 in Arsenal Football Club. If you're an 8 in Man City or Arsenal or a team that wants to win the title, you have to give more than just be all right offensively and all right defensively. You'll have to be fantastic going forward, and you'll have to be able to drop back and go deep, you know what I mean, pause and just defend and do last-ditch tackles. You know what I mean? People just accept, and I'm saying that to win a title in the Premier League, especially against Pep, you'll have to be elite in your position. You'll have to be fantastic. Like, you have to be Odegaard as an 8 last year. Does that make sense? As an attacking midfielder, you have to be Xhaka. The reason why Arsenal competed last year is that you had 3 players that were elite in that midfield. Thomas Partey doing his job as one of the best defensive midfield. Xhaka doing a box-to-box midfield that can score goals and also can defend. And Odegaard getting you 20 plus GA. That's why you challenge. If you had one of them mediocre in his position, you wouldn't have challenged. And Declan Rice as an 8 isn't elite. He isn't Granit Xhaka of last year. He isn't Odegaard. That's a big thing.
I hear you about that, but in terms of that particular comment, I hear you, and I don't think there's enough of a sample size of Rice to know whether he can do the job as an 8 or not. But he's definitely better as a 6 right now. But I do believe, if I'm Rice and I'm playing alongside Partey as opposed to Jorginho in a game of this stature, I believe I'm not as worried about what's happening behind me.
But he didn't cover, and I can focus a little.
No, but he was lost because of Jorginho's movement was horrible, bro.
And because of Zinchenko. Like, Declan Rice as a left 8 should have covered a little bit Zinchenko and going forward. He didn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like, I'm not. It's, by the way, I'm telling you this. This is not on Declan Rice at all. I'm not blaming Declan Rice. Declan Rice has showed us really high levels as a 6 over the past 8 weeks. Right? Even when Thomas Partey started as right back and Declan Rice in the middle, he was great, right? Now your manager comes put him as an 8. Number one, it didn't help Odegaard, and it didn't help Jorginho, and it didn't help Zinchenko. It didn't help anybody. It didn't help Rice himself. That's on Arteta. And again, in the beginning of the season,
100%.
I said stubbornness, and I was with you when I said that. I said stubbornness might cost Arsenal the challenge for the title. He is still trying stuff. I don't know why. He is still the trial and error thing. This season, trial and error might cost you. This is a game. Chelsea are good in everything, but you had a chance. This is it. The problem is, let me ask you another question. Do you think if you play Declan Rice and Thomas Partey, is that going to be all right?
Yeah, I do believe so.
But
because I
believe lost.
No, I believe Odegaard's run. He has a lot more freedom with those 2 behind him, if I'm honest. And I believe, and also when he's slacking in terms of dictating the play, Partey can step in and do it with his drop of the shoulders or his passing as well. So they complement each other well. But with Jorginho, everyone was lost. Nobody knew what to do. and Chelsea just ran riot in that midfield. I wouldn't say Chelsea played particularly well, but we played so badly, everything they did looked 10 times better. And I blame the manager for that. You're right, he's so stubborn. Even the whole the Raya situation. Look, I was neither here or there about the Raya situation, but if he's going to he's put himself in a situation where he has to drop Raya now for it to make sense, for his ruthlessness to make sense, because Ramsdale didn't do enough for him to lose his place at that moment in time. He's made mistakes in the past, don't get me wrong, but he's still the guy that helped us in the Challenge City last season. I didn't think he did enough for him to get dismissed at the time that he was. But since Raya's come into the team, both big games, opportunities he's had against the Cities, against Chelsea, he looked nervous, bro. He's really understanding the levels. Playing for Brentford is completely different to playing for Arsenal with pressure on you. And he's not coping well with that pressure currently. And I don't overly blame him for the Mudryk goal, but it wasn't even just that. It was just his whole and lack of anticipation, bad passing and decision making. And up until Havertz coming on the pitch, he looked lost in the game, bro. At least with Havertz, he had a target man that he could be hitting in the air and get him for the going up for the long balls. But my manager is really questioning me right now. Like, I am Arteta in, and I'm backing him to the end. But come the end of the season, if there's not a proper title challenge and a trophy, all these questions that are going to be asked of him, and I'm completely up for it.
I still think that Raya is very good. My problem with him is that you're good at it's the same as Onana. You're good at distributing the ball, very good. But if you're not doing that, what's the point of playing you? Like, why not play Ramsdale, who is all right and he's gonna do okay, and he's the one who is used to this defense. People in the chat, hit that like button for us. We got over 70 people. If you hit that like and you get 50 likes or more, we'll get more people watching us. We'll get more subscribers. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you just joined us. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure to hit that like button before you continue in the video. I'm trying to do timestamps as well. The like button is underneath your live chat. I don't need to do a tutorial every single freaking show. Just hit that like button. It looks like something.
It's free. It's absolutely free. Cost you
know
nothing.
that it's not going to take anything from your bank account, as Kunli says. It's free.
Guarantee.
If you want to get involved in the conversation, of course, send the super chat to support the channel as well. And check out the memberships. But yeah.
And Mo, just go on what you're saying about the keeper situation. That's exactly my issue. For Raya to make sense to me, to be staying, he had to wow me in a specific area where I'm like, okay, do you know what? It makes sense what Arteta did. But he looks exactly the same as Ramsdale to me, if not.
Not worse, because he pissed the ball to a throw in like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
Which is this is what Ramsdale does.
Worse, yeah, so
we
worse.
criticize Ramsdale for this. What are you good at? What are you good at?
Exactly. So I would rather go back to what was working for us last season.
Yes.
If Ramsdale makes a mistake after he's been back in the team, maybe we can start questioning him. But right now, Ramsdale's the man. I want to see Ramsdale start against Sevilla. Maybe Arteta might give Raya one more chance as it's in Spain and he's Spanish and all that sort of stuff. But come the weekend, Ramsdale needs to be back in this post. No matter what happens.
Was praising Raya because when he came in, his percentages of completing long passes were great. You know what I mean? Like he was building from the back. And I'm like, yes, this is why Arteta chose you. Now continue. And then the first time you got under pressure, you really fluffed your line. Like, what is going on? Bro. It's just one game, bro. No, not Lance. He fluffed his line, right? Didn't he? He's the one who passed him the ball to score.
Yep.
And this game as well. And I'm like, no, bro.
City really, looks shaky. If not for
crumbling
the
under
defense.
Pressure, bro. And you don't have enough credit in the bank. Does that make sense? Like David Raya doesn't have enough credit in the like when Edison made a couple of mistakes against Inter in the final. I'm like, Edison have been doing it for years. We City, like, you have credit in the bank. David Raya, you don't. You came in, then you benched the guy that made them title contenders, and now you're doing this. I'm like, what are you doing here? And Arteta has to be the man. Like, if we criticize Eric Ten Hag, and me and you did that all the time. We criticize Eric Ten Hag for not having the balls to drop people. Now is the time.
It has to.
Now come to
it's the only way his whole coaching and ruthlessness and non-negotiable stuff. It's only way that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the only way to show us that it's not just this favoritism thing that you have because he's Spanish, my Spanish boy, I got him in. You also signed Ramsdale, bro. So don't do that. You got to
Yeah,
be fair.
100%. 100%. I want to go back to Odegaard a little bit before we move on from Arsenal.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to go back because it's
I was
not
trying to
about
avoid this
scoring a
today.
point. It's not about scoring a point. I promise you. How can Odegaard go back to be the guy that affects game? Because I said it before, the others were stepping up. You're the freaking captain. You need to dictate the game. I'm not asking you to dictate the pace of the game. I'm asking you to dictate a little bit where the ball is going to go. You had no influence on the game against Chelsea. You were dominated physically in the midfield and also mentally. You were mentally out. Like at some point, I forgot that he's playing. I totally forgot. Let me do the super chat from Ahmed Suleiman. Thank you for supporting the channel, Ahmed. Of course, he's saying, considering your performance have been worse than last season so far, do you think you will still be a title challenger, Kunle?
100% I do, because as bad as we're playing, we're still joint top. We're on the same points as the treble winners, and we've not kicked into gear. And the reason I'm encouraged is because I know, and we all know, what a clicking Arsenal team looks like. I'm still under the impression that we will click because I've seen it very recently. So I believe that we will still click. And I think the key to Odegaard getting back to him is Thomas Partey being in this side.
Can I
Thomas
ask you
Partey
a
being in this
question
side is
about this
crucial for me.
title challenge thing? Yes, I agree with you. Can I ask you something? Do you think the title this year is going to be easier to win? In terms of like, you don't have to go on a 10-game run, 20-game run. Do you think the likes of Man City are weaker than last year? Do you think anybody that plays anybody from the top 9 away from home is going to be tough? Genuinely.
Look, I easier. I'm not sure, but this season has definitely started off kind of strange. It's just been strange. I can't put my finger on it. We're not playing that well, but we're joint
Getting
tops,
results.
getting
Yeah.
results. Spurs are playing really really well, but they're one defeat away from collapse, I believe. But we'll see if that happens. Liverpool, they were trying to play the underdog victim story, but they're forgetting that they've had Jurgen Klopp for 8 years now and they've won everything with that manager. So they're a threat. Chelsea, after the performance against, the interesting about the Chelsea performance, I'm not going to lie, Mo, as a Chelsea player, I don't know how this young team feel as a result of that, how that game finished. If they'd won it, I could really see them pushing on and like shutting up some of the critics, but now losing the points in that manner, like only leaving with 1 point after dominating for 75 minutes. You don't know with this young squad where they're gonna go. Their heads could be down, and it could be a
I know
ripple
what they should
effect.
do, but I don't know how is it going to be done.
Exactly, with this young team, I don't
Because
know.
the young team, it's on Thiago Silva, it's on Raheem Sterling, it's on the rest of them to pick the other kids up and
Yeah,
tell them, listen, you did very
yeah,
well. We're
yeah.
like with you will learn with time that you will need to see out games. We didn't see out the game. We kind of uh, collapsed a little bit mentally in the game. That's what gave Arsenal the chance. This is the experience. This is the experience we kept telling the Chelsea people, that some games you need experience to see out games, and you didn't have experience. Kukurea was a little bit rash. Even
Yeah.
at the end of the game, you saw the tackle started. Like they got like
But they
excited
were
about winning
rattled
2-0.
after. Yeah, they were
Yeah, they got
rattled.
excited that they're winning 2-0. That's why like they lost focus a little bit. That mistake happened. But then after the mistake, you needed that experience to calm everybody down.
Yeah, yeah,
You listen, we're still winning. We're not losing. They scored a goal, but we're winning. There's still 10 minutes left. You need to calm down. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Like which is, I think, it's not on Pochettino, it's on the players on the pitch. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
On Thiago
100%.
Silva, it's
100%.
but because he took out Sterling, which is provides a little bit of experience. Like Sterling used to take the ball and run to the side, to the line to calm everybody down. Now it is Madueke who's trying to not make Ben White at the line when you're winning 2-1. And I'm
Bro,
like, what are you doing, bro?
Madueke is rubbish, bro. He's my Nigerian brother, but he's so rubbish, man. He's
Like he was really
overrated.
taking the ball, I think, in one. He was
That
trying
guy
to
is
dribble on the
rubbish,
line,
man.
a halfway line. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like
I
just
see him
take
at
the ball.
Everton in 2 years, man. He's rubbish footballer, man.
Yeah, but like Chelsea, this is where they go. But Going back to Manchester City and Liverpool, yeah, you answered that. Manchester City
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Manchester City. But I don't think Manchester City is as strong as last year. When is the
No,
last
but
time we saw?
No, don't do this because like fans, rival fans have done this too many times. As soon as they say Man City don't look the same as last
They
year,
fix it
they
up
do a
and then they win
ridiculous
15 games in
run.
a row.
Exactly. So
And then
I'm not getting drawn into that.
I'm not because
And the
Pep
one
Guardiola.
reason I'm not is that's it. Pep Guardiola,
Yeah, he
because he
has. To
finds a
be honest,
way all the time.
yes, Pep Guardiola, in my opinion, is the best coach because he's gonna always find a way to make it work to the point that no matter how we play, we'll collect the points. Like we'll do it. So it's up to the others. Then it's up to Liverpool. It's up to Arsenal. Listen, this game showed me something. Showed me that again, some of the guys, Brandon and some of these guys were right. You needed to strengthen better in the transfer window. That 65 million that was spent on Kai Havertz was a big mistake. You could have gotten a better player. You could have gotten a striker. You could have gotten an 8. So at least, because at the moment, I don't think you have an 8. You could have signed Gundogan, give him 3-year contract.
I don't believe we could have signed Gundogan, man. He's done
Because
with the Premier League. He was done with the Premier League. He's won everything
you
there.
could have
Why
you
is he
could
going
have
to go?
went and spent the 65 million on Goretzka from Bayern Munich. A grade 8. Well, Goretzka, he
Yeah,
already
fair
was on
enough.
the transfer list.
Fair enough.
Goretzka was so there was a lot of options for you to go get an 8 for 65 million pounds, but you chose Kai Havertz.
Which is
And
I still haven't agreed with that at any point, man.
but
Like
why?
I
Give
can't
me
get
the.
behind the Kai Havertz thing, bro. That's no. I agree with you. We should have
Oh,
got.
you agree with
For,
me? It's
no,
just, yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know why we didn't use that 65 million elsewhere. I think Kudus would have done a better job as a freaking 8 in that left centre mid than Kai Havertz because I don't believe in him. But I hope I get proved wrong. I hope I get to eat my words at the end of the season because he does some crazy things. But winning the ball in the air and aerial duels and all that stuff. When we signed Kai Havertz, that's not what I was looking for him to provide us. So I love the stats and love all the things that people are
Yeah.
saying, but that's not what I got excited about. I didn't even
In
get
my
excited
opinion,
about anything
65
it was.
million should get you more output, should get you more
Facts,
options. It's not,
facts,
and it shouldn't be off the bench. It should be
facts.
when Thomas Partey is not fit. And I believe that Thomas Partey wasn't fit. Otherwise,
Yeah,
sorry,
that's the only explanation.
Arteta should have a lot of questions asked from hierarchies. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like, you have this great DM. Why you're not playing this DM? What are you doing? Like, fix up, bro? Guys, we got over 100 people finally here, but we're not on 100 likes. So the 100 likes is important. This is
Smash
100
that.
people here on this channel. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button for me. Come on, people. Get involved in the conversation as well. I'm going to try to catch a comment, but it's tough. It's not easy, people.
Mm.
Listen, I want to move on from Arsenal a little bit. 22 minutes in, and I want to talk a little bit about Manchester City. Did you watch the game for them against Brighton?
Yeah. I watched the first half, to be fair, and
So,
watched the highlights as well. The
so
first half and
this, I
highlights.
watched this Manchester City, and I thought they were mature in managing this game. They capitalized on a mistake from Brighton. This Manchester City is different. They are not full guns blazing like the end of last year. They took the game slower in phases. This is very mature. But can we say the same about Manchester City as we say about Arsenal? Arsenal are not, they don't go to the games full guns blazing. You know what I mean? Like you take it
Yeah.
slower.
Hmm.
But why it's not the same for Manchester City?
And you know what, Mo? This like a month ago, this used to piss me off. That why City are not in full flow as well, and they're picking up points, but no one's harsh on them. But when it comes to Arsenal, they're always attacking us, saying, "Oh, it's not the same team." What's to say they're going to come into form? But then I realized the root of all that, the reason why City get the benefit of the doubt and we don't, is because people know what City getting into gear the later part of the season looks like. It leads to them winning titles, and until we do that, we're not. People are not just going to believe, oh yeah, they'll get into gear, they'll get into form, because even though we've had quality form, we've not shown that we can be
Get
there
it
at the
over the
end. And the
line. You can
business said,
end the
yeah,
race. Yes.
exactly. And it's just like, for example, remember when I don't know if you have you watched any of those All or Nothing Arsenal
Yes. I
documents?
watched the
So
Arsenal one.
so look, for example, if if we beat Liverpool at Anfield after Arteta did that thing, everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is revolutionary! He played You'll Never Walk Alone at training, and the players are up for the game." But the fact that we lost that game, everyone trolled him and laughed at him, like, "What is he doing? Wasting his time doing that?" But it's one of those things. When you try something new, you've got to prove it works before people give you the credit and the benefit of the doubt. And that's just the current situation. City are a proven machine. Pep is a proven machine. And whether they're being slow right now, when it counts, as long as they're still within 7, 8 points of the leading team, we know they can put pressure. And there's nothing more scary than City chasing you. Like, because that pressure is different. And Pep knows how to keep them focused and motivated through that time. He knows how to rotate his team. He knows how to protect the freshness of his team, which is something Arteta hasn't learned yet either. So that's why they get the benefit of the doubt, because they're proven they can make it work, even if they start slow. We've not done that for a while, for many years. So we'll still. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. That Arsenal don't have credit in the bank. Like, people, you're telling me always, like, you told me this, by the way, from the beginning of the season, Kunle, and I'm gonna call you out here. You told me, I know we will click, but you don't have a history of that. Last year, you started actually very well.
Mm-hmm.
You were, from the first game of the season, you were like, "Oh, this is different. This look fluid." And we keep doubting Arsenal, by the way, until we didn't. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Until we didn't. Like, I remember in game week 12, I was on the terrace and I told the guys, like, anybody that's doubting Arsenal, you have no evidence of why they would slow down. Does that make sense? Like, you're just, I have the same energy for Spurs now. New manager, new players. Why would I doubt them? Because of the history of the club. People told me, but you don't know the Arsenal. I'm like, no, I know the Arsenal. I've watched Arsenal since the Invincible, so I know. But this is a new Arsenal. It's Arteta now. They have new players. Look at this Odegaard guy. Look at this Saliba guy. I'm like, this look world class, right? He looked world class from last year. I'm like, so, but at the moment, only Man City have credit. Even Liverpool don't. The Luis Diaz, the Nunes, the Gakpos, the Szoboszlai, they don't have credit in the bank for me. Right. Only Jurgen Klopp. But this Man City, without the Gundogans, without the Mahrez, with Kevin De Bruyne injured now, do they have credit in the bank? And it was only Pep. It's only for you, it's Pep. Or it's Rodri as well.
And that's enough. Let's be honest. That's actually enough.
That's enough.
But like, what does the CV say, bro? You tell me. What does the CV say?
Yeah, the CV says only 3 titles lost in the last 15 years.
Since he became a manager.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, how can we bet against that until it gets beaten? Until someone shows that, oh, wow, maybe we shouldn't have taken it for granted. Until we're able to say that, and that's not going to be, let's be honest, until the end of the season, if someone else wins the title, we have to believe Pep's going to make happen. It's just the same way. I remember when I was watching Arsenal versus Man U battles, I remember going into seasons where they were like, oh, United don't look the same this year. Arsenal could nick it. Come January, they started doing a stupid run again and they got the job done. So every dominant team, everyone's always going to say, oh, they look different this year. They look different this year if they don't start the way that they're used to seeing them start. And then the fact is they've got championship DNA in their body, bro.
Me and you, I believe you threw it away last year. They did everything they can, which is Manchester City fixed up. Pep Guardiola fixed the system. He changed the system. They went on this mad run and they won a game, as Daniel says, one game at a time. They won a game after a game. You're the one who threw it away. You were ahead at Liverpool. Should have beaten Southampton. Should have beaten West Ham. And the guy could not replace Saliba in the system. You're literally the one. It's not that it was head to head and they got ahead of you in the race. You were ahead in the race, bro. You were 7 points ahead. You're the one who threw it away. They didn't win it because they are ruthless. I think they won it because they did their job. You know what? They ran as fast as they can, but you were too much ahead. But you're the one who slowed down.
I hear you, but the reason for me, the way I see it a little bit differently is because it took me. You never heard me say throughout the whole season, we're going to win the league. At one point, I got to the point where I said, I think we can do this if we do X, Y, and Z. I got to that stage.
Yes.
And hold on. And the reason why I never got to the part where I was saying with Chester we're going to win the league is because I was scared about the squad situation. I was scared about it. And eventually, what the one player too short that we were was a big difference because we never recovered confidence-wise. Let's say we'd already won a title by that time. There would have been other players that could, okay, this player's out, but we got the DNA of knowing how. Yeah, we did throw it away, but City were just clearly better than us. Like at the start of the season, no one even gave us a shout, and eventually it played out that way. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hear you. I hear what you're saying. That we definitely bottled it to an extent, but like look at the squads.
Okay, listen. There is a
look at the squads, bro.
Yeah. But there is a difference between two teams, and this is the last thing. Two teams going toe to toe and going like together in the race, and someone gets over the line, and someone is ahead, and then they just slow down for one reason or the other. You can say squad, you can say injuries, whatever. But let me get this. Ed Mancunian Therapy saying, would Kroos be a good replacement for Phillips? Absolutely not. Kroos is too old, and City play high intensity football. I don't think
it's not the age for Kroos, bro. It's not the age for him to come pro.
Tony Kroos is too old now for this. He's too old. You have to understand that. By the time you get him in the summer, he'll be 36 or 35. He's born in 88. So I don't think he's a good replacement. Like, no, I don't think Mancunian Way is a good replacement for Phillips at all, Tony Kroos. But moving on to Liverpool Football Club. Listen, guys, over 120 of you here. Can we get the likes to 100, please? The like button is underneath your live chat. Tony Kroos is 33, isn't he about 89? So yeah, he'll be 34. Now, Tony Kroos is too slow, Michael, and you know that. Tony Kroos is too slow. You know that. For the City's intensity, it's too slow for me. I don't think it will work. It will work maybe against smaller teams.
But not now.
3 years ago, it was great, but not this year. I'm watching him. He's too slow, in my opinion. I want to talk a little bit about Chelsea. Their chances of getting top 4. I'm being serious, by the way. I'm genuinely, wallahi, being serious. Did he have any chance? They still have players to come back from injuries. Can they get top 4? And why not? If you say no,
for me, if they won on Saturday, definitely, I'll be confident. That sort of result against the challengers would have done massive things for their squads, their belief, and then even the team talks with Poch. Look, you saw how we went against the second best team in England, and we won. We played them off the pitch and we won. But the fact that the game ended how it did, it creates that level of doubt. So, for example, if they go 1-0 down next weekend, is more doubt going to creep in?
Something happened to Kunli's internet. I think he's going to come back. Is it only me, guys? Guys, let me know in the chat. Is it only me or it's Kunli's internet? Is it only me or it's Kunli's internet? Let me know in the chat quickly. You back?
Yeah, it's definitely me. It's definitely me. Sorry about that, guys. Nigeria, sometimes it has internet issues, so forgive me on my country. But yeah,
I think I have better internet than Egypt. I genuinely think. I think so. Do we have any Egyptians in the chat? Let me know.
Let us know, please.
No. The quickest internet in Egypt, I think, is 38 megabytes, and you don't even get that.
Swear down. So you can't do live streams there, basically.
I actually think the big content creators, they have millions of subscribers, really don't do live streams.
Oh yeah,
they don't.
Pre-records.
Barely they do live streams, and when I watch it, it's not the great quality.
You have to understand your market in those situations. One of them ones.
That's why
where did I get cut off?
HM, are you Egyptian though? I really want to understand. Is HM Egyptian? My man, are you Egyptian? Listen, if I go to Egypt, I'm taking my American internet with me, and I'm clearing the market, bro. I'm like, I'm live streaming daily, bro. You know what I mean?
HM, I don't believe you've been to Lagos, bro. I don't believe you've been there, but come and check us out. I don't know about Egyptian internet, so I wouldn't know, man.
No, Egyptian internet
I don't
is ranked one of the worst in the world.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, it's awful, bro.
Where did I get to before my internet started doing madness?
You're talking about if they got
Chelsea.
People started asking you The last thing we heard was, if you how can they build on a draw? You said if you won the
No,
game, yes. If they won the game, yes. But because they drew the game, they cannot be aspiring to top four. That's what you said.
I just think now it creates a higher level of doubt because, for example, if they go 1-0 down on in the next game, I think it could create a ripple effects where they drop points again in that game. I don't believe that. I don't know if they've got the maturity to deal with it after last week. But if they would have been on cloud nine, ready for this big run that they've got of games that everyone said was doomsday for them. So personally, I think the highest possible position Chelsea finish this season is fifth. Highest, but I most likely see them
So
finishing
can I ask you
sixth.
something?
But hold on. Let me just before you,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Okay.
I do think we're gonna see them pull off some really spectacular performances. Maybe get a scalp against one of the top six as well. But I don't think consistently enough they're gonna accumulate enough points to win the title. And because they can't finish their dinner, and they got a shit forward like Jackson that they rely on still.
I still believe in Jackson, by the way.
Bro, if he's a better player, they win that game 4-0 on Saturday.
I think
Facts.
his confidence is very low, and I don't know what happened to the guy, because I saw the player in him. Like people saw the player in Mudrik. I saw the player in Jackson. To be honest, I still think that Mudrik needs work, but I think Jackson is a very good player. Listen, people, can we get that like button up, please, a little bit? Can we get to 100 likes? It's very important to us to get to 100 likes. Moving on from Chelsea, I know, like, we'll talk about Liverpool a little bit, because I think Liverpool again against Everton. Everton didn't put in a challenge, just to be honest. The red card maybe helped. Where is Liverpool? Why everybody is sleeping on Liverpool? Why still people don't think that Liverpool will challenge? And if you ask Liverpool fans, they're like, yeah, we're content with top four. Why is that?
Okay, look, this is what's happening here. And they've played it so well, but eventually a few content creators will switch. What's happened is Liverpool have decided, because of how bad last season went, we're gonna play the victim route. So if we play the victim route, every little thing we do positive, it'll increase the level of praise that we get. So what they do is just playing on the fence. Oh yeah, we're just trying to get back into the top four this season, Champions League football. What? Are you absolutely joking? It's not acceptable. It cannot be accepted. No way, because they've got a manager that's won them every trophy in football. That's still there. It's not like he left. It's not like it happened 10 years ago. This happened in the last 4 years, my guy. And he's still at the club. The biggest issue they talked about last season, we got no legs in our midfield. They spent 100 million on legs for their midfield. Now what? Do you get what I'm saying? So Liverpool have championship winning and trophy winning DNA in them. They still got the likes of one of the best players in the world, in Mo Salah, he keeps messing up the stats books because he just keeps scoring and assisting left, right, and centre, no matter what they say
You know, he
about
was
him.
absolutely terrible in the game.
I know, but he still
No,
manages a way to
he was
be
terrible in the
effective.
game. Yeah.
But this is what I'm thinking. That's why elite players, even when I'm playing rubbish, I can still for 1 second in the game
Yeah. Be
change
the
the face
difference
of the
maker.
game.
Yeah. Be the
I'm a
difference
diff
maker.
and that's the key. So Liverpool need to get the same pressure Arsenal are getting, and eventually, if Spurs continue this run, Spurs should be getting, and City, all of them, because at the end of the day, we're all in this, like City and Arsenal are the same amount of points. Liverpool are 1 point behind us, and they've got championship DNA. So they should be taken seriously. They shouldn't be let off or eased in. Pause.
Yeah. Listen, but for me, Liverpool, if they hang in until January and they go sign a DM, and I keep saying that every stream now, the Paulinho guy, I think they can be serious. I don't know who else is on the market. I don't know who else is in the picture, but I think it's Paulinho now. They go get Paulinho. They release this guy Gravenberch. They release McAllister, and I think it's going to be very, very good for them, in my opinion. I think Liverpool are playing very, very well this season offensively, and I think Van Dijk is climbing back to be the old Van Dijk. By the way, people don't watch the games. Van Dijk is reading the game again. Van Dijk is playing the simple football. Van Dijk is playing these diagonal balls again. Bro, if Van Dijk gets back to the top, Liverpool are serious
Look,
about this title.
it's one of those things. It's when you get a bit older, especially as a defender. Maybe you've had a few injuries. You're especially someone that pace was a big part of his game. He needed, as he gets older, he needed to understand how to adapt. I think he's learned from, okay, I'm not as fast as I used to be 2 years ago. I need to get back into some of the basics and read the game a little bit differently and use my strengths a little bit more effectively now. And I think that's what's happening rather than him coming back. I just think he's learning how to use his tools better now he's aging and slowing down a little bit. So there for that factor, Liverpool are always going to be a force. So and you're right. If they can, if they stay in the mix of things, which I think they will up until January, and they get a DM in, even though they have a DM in Endo, don't disrespect Endo, guys. They definitely got a chance to push all the way for the title challenge.
Not with Endo. One thing, Konate though, that Konate talk. I always said, like in my back, I said, I think Konate isn't him. I said that last season. I said Saliba looks much better.
That's what they said.
They said he's better than Saliba because the French, and I'm like, well, look at this year. So forget last year. Look at this year. Saliba looks more mature. Konate looks more rattled. I'm like, every time he plays, he looks more like nervous. Does that make sense? Why are you nervous, bro? Like, why are you nervous? Why are you making mistakes? To be honest, I think Saliba. Let me tell you one thing. If Saliba plays for Liverpool Football Club next to Van Dijk, they might be closer to Man City than ever. With
no facts. Can you imagine Saliba and Van Dijk, bro? That's a problem. What? Huh? That, hey, bro. And then Saliba,
you don't know. You have no idea. I'm watching Saliba. I watch Saliba. You have no idea how I admire this kid. 22 years old. Like, I said it many times. He can reach. I believe Van Dijk's peak is the best defender in the modern era. When I'm in modern era, like 2004 and later. That year, the reason why I say that
2004 and later.
Yeah, that even better than Rayo, even better than everybody. Van Dijk's peak. The reason why I say that, because Van Dijk was a combination of power, strength, but also being a proactive defender. The hardest part about football is to read the game before it happens. Is to read the play before it happens. That's what William Saliba does. Konate doesn't read the play. Konate is a reactive defender. Does that make sense? He's quick, athletic. William Saliba makes it look easy on the eye because he reads the play. You know, like he knows where the next pass is coming. Now I'm in the space. I'm in that spot, and the forward is struggling. Does that make sense? Van Dijk's peak used to be that with strength and power. People don't believe me. I promise you that was it. And by the way, it's hard to defend for that Liverpool team. He used to be one-on-one a lot of times, by the way, with forwards. You remember that? Because he used to play very high line, right? There's no coverage. And they get a lot of transition. They lose the ball. They don't preserve the ball as much as City. You remember that team, Liverpool? They used to try the risky passes. I think William Saliba can reach that level. That level of, you know what? It's all right to leave me one-on-one. I would read the play. I would stop the transition. And that's my point with Saliba. But I go back to Liverpool. Liverpool have Van Dijk. If they get another defender instead of Konate, for some reason, I don't think Konate is the guy. I think they become serious. Konate made way too many mistakes. I don't know why. People telling me that Konate started one game, and then in that game he made many mistakes, and every time he came off the bench, I thought he's rash. You don't think
should have been sent off this weekend as well? To be fair,
that's one. Let's establish that he should have been sent off because Akanji got sent off for something similar.
But you know, these officials, after they did that Tottenham thing to Liverpool, they'll get a few more decisions just to say sorry.
Yeah, but it's the world against Liverpool. We all know that.
How it goes. That's what they'll see, the victim title that they're going for, bro. I do not buy it. Monts, Roms, all of you, I don't agree. You guys are not victims.
No, but they got robbed. Come on, you have to give them, like, they got robbed to 2 games in a row. Pascal Gross.
Bro, we've been robbed too, so I don't care, man.
No, but not like that. But they were
What do you mean?
robbed
Like
like
a robbery
like,
is a robbery, bro. Whether they take your TV or your watch, bro, it's still a robbery, no?
no, but that's a
Exactly.
mistake. It's not a referee's decision.
Regardless, as I
Hey,
said, whether they take
hold
your
on,
watch or
what?
your phone, it's still a robbery, bro. A robbery is a robbery, my guy.
Hamza's telling me Ruben Diaz, Virgil van Dijk. There's a difference in age, my man. I'm talking about Peak Van Dijk. Ruben Diaz cannot chat to Peak Van Dijk. Just give me a break. And it's one of the easiest things to actually defend in Pep's system sometimes.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
see
just
what I see in the comment section, Shaka. I don't know if you're saying it as
he's an Arsenal fan. Are you
Arsenal.
an Arsenal fan or a Liverpool
Let me
fan? Can
know
you let us know?
because Arsenal got a ref sacked last season, but did we get the 3 points back? Who gives a damn if the ref got sacked afterwards, bro? We never got the 3 points back. Great, he got sacked. Great, they didn't improve their refereeing for this season, so we're here again.
Yeah. Listen, Manchester United. Let's move on to Manchester United. Is that favorite title? I know people are gonna leave the stream when we start talking about Manchester United.
Oh
But I
my
actually think
days.
it's funny. So
Sensational. Let's talk.
last night, bro, I'm serious. Last night, before I go to bed, I'm setting up the stream. You know what I mean? I'm doing the thumbnail, and then I'm opening the Daily Mail. I'm opening the Sun. I'm opening the London news. You know what I mean? I'm checking the UK outlets for news. It's morning. I'm 6 hours behind, and I'm like, every time I'm opening something, it's Graham Potter is Sergio Ratcliffe's favorites to replace Eric Ten Hag.
Wow,
This is
that
serious.
will
By the
be
way,
sensational.
go check it
stuff.
out. Go check it out.
Potter in. Spam the freaking chat. Potter in. Spam the chat. We won it. Potter at Manchester United. You know how great that would be.
Hamza's telling me that Terry released a video that Arsenal got robbed 3 points from VAR not checking a penalty. Which penalty?
The Sanchez situation. Sanchez conceded the penalty.
I don't think that's by the way,
that's a definite penalty. That's a definite penalty.
Think. Let me explain and then you explain.
Okay, please.
If he punched him, if his hand punched him, yes. The goalkeeper is coming out to collect the ball. He missed the ball. Gabriel Jesus as well is running towards him. Both of them are running. Sanchez had more force, of course, but Gabriel Jesus was still waiting for the ball. Does that make sense? And he was running towards it, right? So both of them are running towards each other. Stop me if I'm saying something that's non-factual. Okay. Someone is jumping, and Gabriel Jesus as well is moving towards the ball. Both of them miss the ball. One of them clatters the other.
No. Okay, carry on. Finish first.
And that for me, he didn't punch him. His hand is not there. Both of them are running towards the ball. None of them is looking at the other one. So both of them clattered each other. But one of them got worse because he had less force going to that. That's my point.
For me, if he gets the ball, I'll give it to you, bro. He doesn't get the ball, bro. He literally just clatters the man then. And if you get the ball,
Gabriel Jesus get the ball.
How when he got knocked out, how is he going to get the ball?
No.
He's getting knocked out.
Okay, hold on. The ball was gone before Gabriel Jesus get the ball, right? That's one. So he can't.
No.
Let me ask you something. Did he impede him of getting to the ball?
Yes.
How come? Tomiyasu, which was 2 yards ahead of him, got the ball first. So did he impede Gabriel Jesus?
Yes.
But that's a how did he do that?
Bro, I'm answering your question. Yes, he did impede him from getting the ball. If he's not there, Jesus gets the ball. But he is there.
Tomiyasu is ahead of him.
Knocks him out.
The ball.
Bro.
What?
If he's not there, Jesus gets the ball, bro. I've said what I said.
How?
Bro, the guy knocked. Okay. So wait.
I agree. Hold on. We agree.
So you're telling. So no, wait. Hold on. So you're telling me a keeper is just allowed to jump and knock someone out, not get the ball, and everything's all right. What do you mean he didn't knock him out?
Okay, so let's establish that.
Okay, so he wasn't knocked out after they hit him. He hit him.
Clattered into each other. Is that right or wrong to say?
Okay. No, they did.
Gabriel Jesus standing still, or was he moving towards the goalkeeper as well?
He was moving towards the ball.
No. He was moving straight like this.
Bro,
the goalkeeper was coming this way.
He was moving towards the ball.
Listen. The ball is coming from this way. Gabriel Jesus moving this way, and the goalkeeper is moving this way. They clatter into each other.
Bro, he's moving towards the ball. So he's just jumping for jumping's sake. Now he's jumping towards the ball. And look, the Premier League, like in my day, that's not a penalty, bro. But the Premier League have made the statement that if a keeper comes and takes a player out and doesn't claim the ball, it should be a penalty. They've said it. They've said the rule. So because that's the same reason why the penalty for Saliba was given because of these new rules. Because in my day, that was never a penalty. But because they've changed the rules, I'm going by the letter of the rules right now.
It's not
The
a
rules
penalty
right now.
because
Yeah,
the
but
rule have to
yeah,
say he
but
did impede him to get the ball. He
no, but the
didn't.
rules say no. They're claiming that because he prevented the ball from going on target, which it definitely wasn't.
What?
That's why they gave the penalty. That was the reason they gave, bro.
They give what penalty?
The Saliba, you know,
Oh, the
Saliba's
Saliba is a
the
penalty,
Chelsea penalty.
100% the same as Romero.
No, but that what only with the new rules. But that's what I'm saying. With these
Yes,
new rules that the Premier
but the
League have
goalkeeper, there is
given,
no rule for the
that's
keeper.
a penalty. There is. Go
No,
check
there's
it.
none. I'm gonna go
Okay,
check. Can you send it
I'll
to me?
yeah, I will.
Send it
Because
to me.
the reason I'm so confident is because I watched it on Sky Sports News this morning, and they debated about it. That's why the Wolves, Onana against Wolves, and this decision was the one that they were talking about.
The difference is I think it's a body to body thing, and the goalkeeper jumped higher. Okay, so I think that's why it clattered to him. That's why. And Gabriel Jesus was moving. The guy was not standing still. The difference is if both players, goalkeeper or no goalkeeper, are moving towards each other and body to body clattered, and none of them impede the other from playing the ball. And I believe that the ball was already gone because Tomiyasu got to the ball before both. It's not a penalty. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
know,
explanation. Your
but
explanation is different.
no. I hear it, and I agree with that explanation, but it doesn't match up with the rules of the Premier League. So
Let
therefore,
me
it should be a penalty.
maybe
So
I'm
go
wrong
check it.
then. So you
Yes,
send me the rules and
yeah.
definitely I will
I
check it.
will for sure.
But I
for
want to
sure.
move on to Manchester United because Harry Maguire played very well yesterday. I don't know if you watched the game or not, but Harry Maguire played the day before yesterday. He played very well. And this Eric Ten Hag guy, should have gone to the monitor. Yeah, Hamza, fine. I get what you're saying, Hamza, but maybe I'm wrong about the rules. I'm not right all the time. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just the situation I explained is what I saw. Right. This is why I'm talking about it this way. I don't think it was a penalty. But if that was a penalty, that was a penalty. You were robbed. So Wolves were robbed. So Konate should have a red card. So and that would have affected the game. Big time.
So I don't think that was the reason why we didn't win the game, though. Don't get it twisted. We fucked up because of Arteta. But if we're talking about these new rules that the Premier League keeps changing every 2 years, then it should have been a pen. But I hear what you're saying, though, Mo. What your explanations makes a perfect sense, bro.
But if the
But
rule
I'm
is,
just going,
if my explanation
yeah,
is wrong for the rules, done.
Do you-
Like I can
and that's
explain the handball forever, but if the rule says something, I'm wrong.
exactly.
You know what I
Like
mean? I can explain to you,
100%.
but the ball was going this way, and then the rule
Exactly.
clearly states if your hand is in this way, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, explanation out of the window. It's a rule. The law is the law. I get what you're saying. So look at the last part is just Manchester United.
Yeah, let's laugh about Man U.
And actually, I don't want to talk about Manchester United. You know what? Screw Manchester United. Let's talk about Newcastle United. Because I believe I keep getting DMs, I keep getting messages.
You just dismissed them like that.
Yes. Wow. I'm dismissing Manchester United until they get better. There is no point. What do you want me to say about Manchester United? Like seriously, do you have something to say? You can say whatever. Yeah. Do you have something to say? Give it to me.
I just want to talk about how I told them this was going to happen.
Go ahead. Tell the people.
I told Man United
the Messiah Kunle is telling the people.
The same thing that happened to Spurs last season. I saw it happen into Manchester United this season because the way they were winning games was not sustainable. Says Ten Hag would have to create a way to stamp his authority in a style of play so they can know how they can get results in games. If he doesn't do that, which I thought he'd be able to do during another transfer window, then these boys will struggle. And what happened is that's happened, and Man United are closer to the second half of the Premier League than the top half of the Premier League. And that's just the reality. And Ten Hag just keeps making L's. More and more ridiculous decisions. For example, Anthony, 90 million had to work because of that amount of money that they threw at it. It had to work. No matter whether it's his reasons why it's not working because of his potential alleged charges. I get it, but nobody cares. You spent 90 million on a player, he has to work. You now have another player you spend, well, he didn't spend, but the club spent 75 million who can potentially play in that position. And instead of just criticizing him in the back, you criticize him into the public, where you lose him and you've lost the guy that you spent 90 million on. You throw away a club legend in De Gea because you want to get your keeper in, and he's having stinkers. And the reason he's having stinkers is not necessarily because he's a bad keeper, it's because the team wasn't set up to be ready for him. That was the reality. They should have kept De Gea for one more year and fixed the team to a team that can play for the back confidently, and then put in an Onana. But he just keeps making errors. It seems he can only sign players from the Dutch league or players that he used to manage. Other than that, he doesn't know what he's doing. So, Man United, I think you should definitely give Ten Hag till the end of the season to figure it out. But if he doesn't figure it out, we got to make some changes in the summer. But definitely give him till the end of the season.
What if you lose to Copenhagen? I think
if they lose to Copenhagen, mate, it's going to be incredible. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
If you lose to Sevilla, it's Tuesday. It's tomorrow.
Bro, are you going to let me answer one question first, or are you going to keep attacking
you
me?
You laughed, and I'm like...
because it's funny. Imagine Man U losing their first 3 Champions League games, and one of those teams is Copenhagen. That's embarrassing.
You know, if they lose that game, they're out.
Of course they are.
I don't think they win the next 3 games and go to the next
definitely
one.
not. They're done. They're done. They're done.
Yeah.
Even though we have lost our first 3 games and still qualified for the second stage before, but I just don't think Man U have it in them.
Not with this group, though. They won't be Bayern Munich and Galatasaray. I don't think it will happen.
Away, they don't even. I think they at most they get a point at Galatasaray. At most.
Like, I think that it's a hostile environment. I don't think they get it. But can you give time to Newcastle? The reason why I want to give time to Newcastle, to be honest with you, is that people are sleeping on Newcastle. People said the bench is not enough, right? Crystal Palace is a mid-table team. They demolished them 4-0 with Jacob Murphy and Jamal Lascelles starting. Do you know that? And Wilson started, not Isaac. So they rotated, but they still demolished them 4-0.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Lascelles back in the side, I thought this is the beginning of the end for Newcastle. But for somehow,
it's not looking like it.
Bro, literally, I'm like, what is Eddie Howe done? Like, Eddie Howe needs to get his flowers, man. He's doing a great job, man. Like, and what I was nervous about this season is I thought maybe because they got the Champions League maybe a year too early, it was gonna really affect them. But after a little bit of a rocky start, it looks like the Champions League has galvanized them. A draw at the San Siro, a win at home to Newcastle. To PSG. They're absolutely flying right now. Do I believe they can sustain it? I don't know. I think if they can get to January
based on Jacob Murphy and Jamal Lascelles, if these people can win against Crystal Palace with these guys, the guy had 2 assists and a goal.
It's Crystal Palace. Let's not overdo it.
Yeah, but Crystal Palace gives a lot of teams tough time.
Was it away or home?
Even though it was at home, you don't win 4-0 against Crystal Palace. You don't win against Roy Hodgson 4-0. It's not an easy thing to do. They demolished them.
But Eze's not there, Olise's not there. It's a home game at what's it called, St. James's Park. I hear it, but let's not get too excited. But
you think Crystal Palace the 10th best team in the league?
What does that mean?
Like their mid-table team.
Yeah, but their 2 most creative players are not available, mate. And the team works through them. So yes, don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to take anything from Newcastle. They still won 4-0. But
you are.
But I think as long as they can stay in the mix till January, I still think they need to maybe do something depending on this whole Tonali situation, how that pans out.
Yeah,
they definitely got to do something in January.
The biggest mistake is if they go get Calvin Phillips, in my opinion. The biggest mistake. In my opinion, it's too much of a risk. You know, I always say when you are on a high, don't go for the risky player. Go for the risky player if you're already don't want that player. You know what I mean? Like, don't go for the risky Calvin Phillips. What if Calvin Phillips doesn't work?
No, and I agree with you because I believe Newcastle now need to go and get that. Wow, Newcastle signed this player.
Not wow, but someone who's already playing. Now, Calvin Phillips hasn't played for 2 years. People forget that.
Nah, but. Well, I'm not saying they need to go and buy like an Mbappe or something like that. I mean, a player that other top clubs are really interested in, that sort of guy. They're like, whoa, he went to Newcastle.
Like, you know who I would for them? I would if I was Newcastle, I would go for Onana from Everton. energy,
That's a good
physicality,
shout.
suits
That's a
that
good shout.
midfield. He suits
shout.
everything in that midfield, right? You don't need creativity from the midfield because you aren't creating from the midfield. You're really relying on the physicality in the midfield. You're losing Tonali, the physical midfielder. Get Onana. Something from that.
Do you think they might need to have that option though? That creative.
I asked for that
at some point
and been told no by Newcastle fans, and it looks like Eddie Howe is happy with how the team is. He is happy for the midfielders to make late runs but not create. Like Longstaff makes that late run in the 18, but Longstaff doesn't create. Guimaraes doesn't create as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's happy with having a physical midfield. He's happy with that. His creativity. But anyway, listen.
But how far does that get them up the table? That do you think?
It gets him very high. It's
like where?
Right.
What position? What position? Top 4?
Top 4. I think the problem is, listen, we only learn from history to go for the future. The problem is the top 4 teams now, and if Spurs win this game, in the history, no team with that amount of points dropped out of top 4 since the Premier League started. Like no team has got that amount of points and dropped out of top 4. So it has to be a new history is written. Does that make sense?
Yeah. History is already always there for a reason, though. You know what I'm saying? But I personally saw them finish in 6th. Yeah, I saw them finish in 6th, but I also didn't see Man United being this bad this season, and I didn't think Spurs were going to start off this well either. So, as you said, anything can happen this season.
Listen, if Spurs win today, Kunle, this is history. You know that every team that done this going to win the title.
We have to done what?
Not the 23 points from, I think so, the 23 points from 8 games. However, there is also not a lot of the teams that got 21 points from 9 games also, I think, won the title as well.
Is this the same guy that says he doesn't care about history? Now look at him.
I do care about history because I can't read the future. But also, the thing about it, I'm not saying Spurs will win the title. I think Spurs, I'll give them 5% chance of winning the title just because of there are other teams. Still, I think Man City are the clear favorites for the title. In my opinion, clear. But anyway, thank you so much. I will get Will after Spurs today, win or lose. The Will is tonight on the channel. I already made that deal with him.
Oh yeah, win or what lose time?
No, it's late. It's at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
2 in the morning your time.
I definitely can't be there. Yeah, 100%.
You cannot.
Big up Will though. Big up Will.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you everybody that watched us. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you, Kunle. Please plug in where people can find you, please.
Yeah, people can find me on Tunnel TV Media on all platforms and also on One Touch TV on all platforms except for Twitter where it's One Touch T. And catch us for our review show tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Tunnel TV.
Yeah, 100%.
Big up everyone.
100%. Big up everybody that was here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Share it. I'm trying to bring you content daily. Tonight, it's going to be 2 a.m. UK time. This is the only time that is free for me and after a lot of streams because Hussam has his A-listers. So yeah, it's kind of like a little bit tough. So see you guys. Thank you, Kunle. Appreciate you, everybody that is watching. Make sure to like the video. If you haven't done so, like the video before you leave. It's thumbs up. And we'll see you guys later tonight. Thank you, everybody.